Hello and welcome. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress Basement Born. So, this episode probably won't be of anything of too much interest. I've let it go about 2 seasons. It's now back in early spring. I've just been trying to clean up. My frame rate is really bad, but I've been trying to do some things to help even that out and make it a little better. I'm trying to drain some of these smaller ponds and let them dehydrate. Or evaporate, actually, not dehydrate. Um, and it's kind of dangerous because if I'm not careful, some of these dwarves may, get themselves trapped in a not so good spot. But I'm hoping to just get that done out, and then we're gonna finish this little. I built a obsidian block floor all the way around the fortress. This will keep trees from growing up. And I want to do the same thing down here. And see, there's already a tree starting right there. But, let's see. Let's make sure none of my dwarves are going to drown in there or anything like that. But yeah, so that's one of my goals that I'm working on. I found a use for our gold, or silver actually. I'm going to make large serrated silver discs. And because those are trap components, at least last time I remembered, they were worth a lot of money. And because they're going to be made out of silver, they're worth even more. Now let's see, I should really start flooring some more of this area. What is that? Rotten mussel biscuits. Alright. Let's also set up, because we have a large amount of wood, I want to make some barrels. Let's make some just wooden barrels. Alright, there they are. Let's make 200 of them. And then something else we can use. Let's make some beds. I'm just gonna make another 100 of those. Ooh, not 10. Is there a way to change that? Details. So let's go to D. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Maybe... so let's just remove it. We'll try this again. Beds. And 100. Alright, there we go. So just 100 beds. That'll probably be more than I ever need, but having them in storage won't be too bad. And I've also set up the archery range here. Oh, and that's another job that just reminded me I should make. So I have a whole bunch of bone bolts, but I should make some copper. Copper bolts. Let's do... one bar makes about 25, so if I do 100, it's going to be 2,500 bolts. Let's go for it. That'll keep my dwarves busy. My dwarves do have a bit of a leather shortage. I'm trying to compensate by hunting a few things, but fortunately, not doing too well on that front. We did have a giant cave bat kind of come into the fortress. Everyone just kind of mauled it. Let's see. Yeah, giant cave bat blood just got splattered all over here. I think it did get someone pretty good. No. Ah, there we go. Iteb. Looks like he got hurt a little bit, but then it just... I even saw at one point part of the bat exploded by one of the dwarves that punched it. So I'm not sure what that says about the dwarves or the bats. But yeah, I'm not really concerned with them venturing out into this cavern. Though I am working to isolate portions of the cavern. I'm not in a hurry to do that. It's mostly kind to keep my dwarves out of trouble. I am missing a dwarf. I don't know what happened to him. Let's see, let's go back to this layer. I've also completed a lot of the engraving, and now they're just engraving up here, which unfortunately it seems like they've just gone to engrave very simple images. Let's see, what have you engraved most recently? A fluffy Wambler. Huh. Yeah, so they don't seem to be engraving that one. Ooh. Engraving that much or anything interesting. I was hoping I'd see some engravings of the Forgotten Beast that came and attacked, but hey, whatever. Speaking of Forgotten Beast, Amari is still around here, but I'm wondering if he's dead, because he hasn't moved from his spot in a long time. I don't know if he drowned, or maybe one of the injuries he sustained. Hey, there's the dwarf. How did you get... I am thoroughly curious. How? Well, I found my missing dwarf, I believe. Yep. Huh. I don't know how he got there. Did he get thrown there? Was there a cave bat involved? I don't know. I also did a kind of a barricade around here and some doors. And this is, if I need to, I can keep my dwarves out of a certain area. And I can also put my archery dwarves here without them having to get melee distance until something breaks these doors. So they have a good chance to peg it full of bolts before they need to bash it with their crossbows. And then I've done a little bit of construction over here. I don't know why these are suspended. I would like you to construct those, please. So I can build the final layer. And then that wall will be walled up. I don't have to worry about things coming from there. Also, the reason that there's this little nub right here, dwarves kept wanting to stand there to build this wall. So I have no idea why, so I had to build that little nub, which they built on the right side of it, and then they didn't want to stand there anymore, so all's well that ends well. And I've done a little bit of room assignments down here, but nothing spectacular. Let's see how our large steel serrated, or large serrated discs or whatever. And if we can make a lot of those, what I'm going to start doing is trading for all the steel items in caravans and just start smelting them down. Now, there's a few cheesy ways I could get more steel out of it by smelting certain items and doing certain things. I'm not going to do that. We're going to deal with what we have, and steel is probably one of the best all-round materials for building weapons, armor, and everything else out of, just because it's reasonably dense, it's reasonably strong, it's a really good weapons-grade material. And what I mean by that, so the reason it's good to be dense is you can build a warhammer out of it, or you can build crossbow bolts out of it, though you really shouldn't. It makes a decent crossbow, because it works well as a hammer. It's not super, super heavy, so your mark stores aren't slowed by it. Let's dig a little more of this. And it's things like that that make it a really good tool to use, really good material to use. And then it on the list of how good a material is, steel is, I think it's the highest weapons grade material below what we'll call candy. There's a lot of stuff out here. Let's DB. We're going to claim all these bolts. They have found their way out there. Maybe our hunters will begin to use those again. see. So they're digging that out. All I really need is for the water to get low there. Ideally 2 or 1. And what I was thinking I'd do is make the lip of all of this out of stone, and then the inside out of stone. So I'm going to dig another layer and make it stone, and then if I need to hollow any of this out for any reason, I can use this, and it doesn't look like it's, made of dirt. I do still need to build, let's see, let's build some floors. Let's start turning this into a, obsidian blocks. Now they're going to be a good distance away. Obsidian blocks. Obsidian blocks. And then obsidian blocks. And let's get this place was suspended. Let's stop suspending it. And maybe we'll get a tavern underway soon as well. Something else I've never done. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the dwarves are talking about needing different materials to complete their tasks. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything about that right now. Let's move my mouse off the screen. I'm thinking about building a statue garden out in the open. Somewhere that'll get my dwarves used to sunlight. Build, see, wall. In fact, I want to make this wall too thick just to make that even. But basically, with a statue garden above ground, or in a lit area that was above ground and maybe now sealed, it will get rid of their day sickness, or their sunlight sickness, or whatever you want to call it. What makes them nauseous when they come up above ground and get exposed to sun. I also want to work on building a road. So see, floors, and it'll be obsidian brick roads. And this will allow traders to get to us no matter what. Alright, so before I can do that, I need to D and then T. We're going to chop down any tree that is in this path. Or, how do I want to set this one up? Where does this one go? Yes, any tree that is in this path. And these will be what we consider our roads. Now, it will be a little while before they get to that job. Hopefully not too long. Uh-oh. Oh, someone's making masterwork wood beds. And I do still need to build. So I'm basically just queuing up a whole bunch of things that are going to keep my dwarves pretty busy. Let's do this. Nope. What is it? Z. Z is the button I'm looking for. And then I want obsidian blocks. And the reason I want obsidian blocks is, one, they add a lot more wealth to the fortress, but two, they're also easier for our dwarves to carry. Even if they're further, our dwarves will move faster with them than they would most materials like stone. Wood, I believe, will come out to be about the same, but I don't want to use wood for these fortifications. In fact, at some point I would like to get rid of this wooden floor, but leave it alone for right now. Alright. Let's go look at our dining hall. Our glorious wave of stone engravers. working from one side of the dining hall to the other. Now, which table did I have set? So what we're going to do is we are going to free this table, and we are actually going to set the dining hall here. And that's a good spot for it. This is going to be a meeting hall. And yeah. So hopefully our dwarves will have parties and things in there if they're going to have parties. I'd really rather they didn't. But yeah. Let's see. Let's check out our stockpiles. I'm really curious if ammo has gone up. Ammunition. So copper bolts were around 300. We've still got some bone and wood bolts. Not really all that useful. I really need... excuse me. I really need to find a way to gather up all this old clothing that's no longer any good. But my next project, as soon as everything in the fortress gets back to smooth running, is actually probably going to be seeing how deep we can dig before we start getting into more trouble. Because this is the last cavern layer that we're in. So the next area that I want to dig to is basically I want to get to the bottom of our world. Make sure all that's gotten cleaned out. Done some work moving stuff around. I really gotta just start using the hotkeys. So all the dwarves, they're coming and grabbing these blocks. Hopefully these workshops are no longer cluttered. Well, one still is, but it looks like we're starting to burn through the obsidian block stockpile. I do need some hide, though. So that's going to be something else I trade for. It is still spring, though. Early spring. Let's see. They've started their work on that road. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is a lot of flat land, and I really didn't expect it to be this flat when I embarked. But this would be the perfect place for a mega project. I don't know what kind of project I'd do. And with my frame rate being the way it is, I don't think I could accomplish anything too massive. But if any of you have some suggestions, go ahead and feel free to drop them down below in the comments. If it involves lava, I'll give it a try, but do expect that sort of thing to backfire badly. Looks like the farm is still going just fine. Food and drink stockpiles are great. They're still brewing. They're preparing easy meals, which I think... yeah, it should be fine. I have lots of seeds, so I'm not really worried about losing seeds. And then... let's, oh, isn't there something that's like gather... oh no, it's this one. Collect webs. Thing is, do I have any... would they be clothiers? It'll be something I'll look into between episodes. I wish there was like a way to order trees to be kept from growing in a certain area. Wouldn't even mind if it took up some dwarven time. I seem to have plenty of dwarves. Which actually reminds me, this should be done by now. So build, is it N? No. S, no. Alt S. Yes, there we go. And then I need to expand. I need the one engraved. Okay, maybe it's not that one. Oh, I thought it was this. Let's actually check something real quick. Add new task, engrave memorial slab. Entombed, not memorialized. Slab engraved. Ident. So it's been engraved. Alt S. And X. Ah, there's the memorial. I didn't see it. So now, so this is what you do when you don't have the corpse of a dwarf or it's inaccessible or something like that. You use slabs to put them to rest. And the reason it's important to entomb your dwarves and stuff, other than leaving corpses around makes other dwarves unhappy, sometimes they can rise up as ghosts. So it's usually a fairly good idea to go ahead and engrave them if you can. It gives you enough time to do it in most cases, unless you're just starting out in Lost Dwarf. So it looks like they're building up those ammo stockpiles there. I kind of want to build an armory room for my my dwarves at some point, but that'll come later. But yeah, building the memorial slabs keeps ghosts from appearing if you don't have the corpse to entomb. And ghosts can either haunt dwarves or cause things to fall over, ruin stuff. And I believe they can even cause a interesting cascade because they can knock over the coffins. And if you don't get that taken care of soon, then they attracted no migrants this season. I kind of understand why, with as many as we lost in the bloodbath. But then when they knock over the stuff, and if it isn't fixed soon enough, you can have more ghosts rise up, and I don't think it happens too commonly, but it can. Alright. Ah, it looks like they did chop that tree. And alright, build that. Obsidian bricks. Or blocks. I would really like this road to be done before we get our next batch of traders. I don't know if they'll actually use this road. They'll probably just go whichever way is most convenient for them. But, hey, it's a nice little touch. And adds wealth to our fortress, so... I mean, if I really wanted to do it, I'd go make gold blocks and pave it. I have enough gold to do it, probably. But I find gold to be gaudy. So if I can sell it or use it in other ways, I'll do that. Maybe if I have a mayor who particularly likes gold or something like that, I'll make him a gold set of furniture. Alright, let's build a road this way as well. Because even if I build another tower, it'll still have this kind of a thing in front of it. The only reason I'm not going to build a road to the south is I don't know if I build like I build a castlement. Oh, I forgot to, whoops. If I build a castlement with like 4 towers, I want to be able to go south with them, and I don't want to have to, you know, take up the blocks I've already placed down. And what I mean by that is, I'll show it in just a moment. So my plan is, if I ever really decide to expand the fortress, I build another tower about here and build a wall between these. And then I build 2 more towers down here and make it a square. And then you'll have all this to be a courtyard or whatever. And so I'd still want to, because you can't build walls on top of floors, because it's 2 constructions overlapping, which you can't do. So I wouldn't want to have to pick it all back up again and fix it. Alright, well that's a good use of all the obsidian blocks we have. But I think I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to, in between episodes, look up a few things about bolts and such. And then I'm probably going to get these roads finished. And yeah, I think we'll start working on another path down. I might actually start back up at the top somewhere. So like here, build another way down that can be separated from the rest of my fortress. I'd have to give it some thought. But if I could make a straight path down and then just go straight through like a big spike, that'd probably be the best option. That way it's not integral. It's not like the spine of my fortress. And if something winds up getting in there, I don't have to worry about, if I seal it off, cutting off half my fortress. So anyways, thank you for joining me. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress. Have a good one.